Mr. Colin Gray!
So when Chris asked me to talk about goals, I thought to myself, that means getting stuff done, it means productivity, which feels a bit strange to me because I don't always feel very productive. I'm definitely no stranger to the resistance. Who here has read The War of Art by Steven Pressfield? You stick your hand up. A good few. So you'll know in there he talks about the resistance. It's this force that stops you doing the important work, guides you towards the easy stuff, the fun stuff. Now, it's probably no surprise to you to know, given the picture behind me now, that I'm a bit of a geek. So when I think about the War of Art, I drop into Game of Thrones mode. I'm on the wall alongside Jon Snow, slaying White Walkers by the dozen. Every one of them is a bit more resistance. Just happens that they're trying to steal the minutes of my day rather than human flesh, but you probably get the idea. The thing I learned, though, is that being your own boss, achieving your goals, is all about that battle with the resistance. And it's so bloody difficult. It's the hardest job in the world. Practically no one is any good at being their own boss, deep in the day-to-day battles. It's like me trying to be a boss to my daughter. Try to tell her to put her lammy in the wash. Stop it being a biohazard, which it becomes after a while. She's too cute, I'm too nice, I'm too soft, really. She says things like, Daddy, I don't want to do my client proposal today, I just want to look at my new microphone instead. Thing is, having a boss is really good for getting stuff done. They tell you what to do, they tell you when to do it, and they make sure you do it. And not only that, they make sure you do the right stuff. So for me, a few years back, I was getting things done, but I was going this direction, and I was going that direction, and I was going this direction. I was busy, but I was getting nowhere. I wasn't stacking my work, as I like to think about it, putting task upon task to actually make progress towards my goals. Instead, I was just lost. I was completely frazzled. I mean, have you ever had a day like that? Now, it's a boss's job to avoid this, to give you a bit of guidance, to help you make some decisions, you know, to help you move towards your goals. The secret is, I think that you can create your own team of bosses. Because it's possible to be your own boss in the day-to-day work. They can help you plan from the big picture down to the daily battle. The key is that we can't do it in the day-to-day work. We have to set aside time outside of those battles to be those bosses deliberately, regularly, and then we have to do something that makes those bosses real in our day-to-day work. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the planning, the execution tools that I've used over the last few years to build my own team of bosses, so that when you're deep in that day-to-day battle, you can't see more than 10 minutes ahead. They're there to help you make progress, to make sure you're on the right track. So the first boss I'm going to talk about, he's the big boss, the top dog, he's the general. So, Game of Thrones again, the boss here, the big boss, the general, is Daenerys, the dragon queen. But did you also know that she's the queen of long-term planning? So how long has she been trying to get back to Westeros to take back her throne? 7 years, it's taken ages. But she's had that goal in the minds of her followers. She's been inching towards it ever since. Now, in real life, the general is our annual goals, he's our annual planning. The great thing about being a general is that you're far away from the daily battle. You're behind your walls. So you can take a big picture view, you can plan with a cup of tea in hand, logically, dispassionately. You can set the hard goals.